Mayweather, come out them bushes hiding and playing and capping. We know you was the middleman to RyanGarcia's victory, but what we want to know is, are you the middleman to the steroids?
BillHaney has just accused Floyd Mayweather of supplying PEDs to RyanGarcia before the Haney fight. The breaking news is that Garcia's B samples have also tested positive for ostarine. Boxing insider Dan Rafael tweeted that the B sample results came back on Thursday, just one day after being opened. According to him, the lab reports confirmed what was expected. The B samples matched the A samples, and both tested positive for the banned PED ostarine, based on VADA tests done the day before and the day after the fight. On April 20th, Garcia made a huge impact in boxing by knocking down Haney 3 times during their super lightweight bout in New York and winning with a clear, unanimous decision. However, that victory is now under serious doubt since Garcia tested positive for ostarine in 2 different VADA tests. Garcia strongly claims he is innocent and immediately asked for his B samples to be tested to prove that he did not cheat. Still, with 2 prior positive results, the chances of the B samples showing anything different were very low. Now that the B samples have confirmed the earlier findings, the New York Commission can officially begin its investigation. If found guilty, Garcia could lose his boxing license. Dan Rafael tweeted again that Garcia's B samples tested positive for ostarine, and that he now faces a hearing, possible suspension, and even the chance that the result of the Haney fight could be overturned. After the B sample news, Garcia's legal team made a public statement claiming that Ryan is committed to clean and fair competition and has never knowingly used any banned substance. Shortly after he was informed of his positive test, Garcia voluntarily gave a hair sample to Dr. Pascal Kintz, one of the world's leading toxicologists and hair analysis experts. According to the statement, Ryan's hair sample tested negative, which matches with the idea of contamination and proves that he did not use ostarine over a long period, the only way it could have given him an edge in the ring. The statement added that Ryan has always volunteered for testing throughout his career, and those tests have always come back negative. He also tested negative multiple times before the fight with Haney. Taking into account the ultra-low levels of ostarine found in the April 19th and 20 samples, Garcia's team believes this points to unintentional contamination from one of the natural supplements he was taking, and that he got no performance boost from the tiny amount found in his system. They also said they are sure one of those natural supplements Ryan used in the lead-up to. Garcia's team believes one of the natural supplements he used before the fight will be proven to be contaminated, and they are currently testing those supplements to find the exact source of the contamination. Meanwhile, Haney's legal representative submitted a detailed 8-page letter to the New York Commission, urging them to disqualify Garcia and award Haney the win by default. Haney explained that he chose to step away from the competition because of the PED allegations, illegal IV use, and Garcia's failure to make weight, which he believes was a tactic for an unfair advantage. Haney said, honestly, he's not very interested in the situation anymore, noting that during the build-up to the fight, Garcia revealed his true character. He said they've seen Garcia cheat and now know the kind of person he is. Haney stated that he doesn't see himself getting back in the ring with Garcia, although he admitted that as a fighter, he can't predict the future. For now, though, he's not considering a rematch. He added that Garcia was willing to do anything to win, including cheating, and that boxing is just a sport. But what Garcia did crossed a line and put Haney's life at risk. He said that it's now deeper than boxing for him, because Garcia could have seriously hurt him that night. The situation grew more intense when the B sample was opened in the presence of a representative from Team Garcia. Last week, John Haney released a video warning that Garcia's B sample would be opened soon, and by Wednesday, it had been revealed. Haney also responded harshly to Garcia's idea of starting a new boxing league if suspended. If found guilty again, Garcia could face a serious suspension lasting 1 to 2 years and face a large fine. Haney's team, including his corner and promoter Eddie Hearn, are urging the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the fight's outcome and declare Haney the rightful winner. But doing so would likely end any chance of a future rematch. This entire situation may just become another dramatic chapter in RyanGarcia's already controversial career. However, if the B sample had turned out negative, it might have sparked rumors of a different kind of conflict. In a recent interview with Boxing Social, Garcia spoke bluntly about Eddie Hearn, calling him a cabron and accusing him of plotting to get him banned from professional boxing. Garcia didn't stop there. He even threatened to launch his own boxing league if suspended. On camera, he declared, "Eddie Hearn is a scumbag. You can't make it look like I'm a cheater when your own boxers have cheated. They're framing me." But just hours later, Garcia surprised everyone by taking a smiling selfie with the same promoter. He said, "I don't care if they suspend me for life. I'm going to create my own," Garcia continued, saying he's not quitting boxing, just walking away from the current system to start his own league and organize his own fights. He made this statement after the opening and analysis of his B sample, which tested positive. Meanwhile, Haney strongly criticized Garcia and his promoter Oscar de la Hoya, calling their hair test a joke. On his social media account, Haney posted several messages mocking Garcia and his team, accusing them of using the hair test as a distraction because they already knew he'd test positive. Haney also said he wants his money back, possibly including sanctioning fees and other costs from the event. He complained that Oscar hasn't answered his calls in weeks. At 25 years old, Garcia insists he's innocent, but the test results suggest otherwise. Although he denies knowingly using any banned substance, he admits to taking ashwagandha, vitamin D3, and omega-3 supplements. But the actual cause of the positive result remains unknown. Garcia's legal team is arguing that one of the natural supplements he took was contaminated. Darren Chavez, a key figure in Garcia's legal defense, told ESPN they strongly believe a specific supplement caused the issue. He pointed out that the negative hair sample supports their claim that Garcia wasn't exposed to ostarine over a long period, which would rule out any performance-enhancing advantage. But since the B sample came back positive, it's unclear whether testing the supplements will change anything. BillHaney, Devin Haney's father and trainer, reacted angrily and questioned whether Floyd Mayweather had helped RyanGarcia get the PEDs he tested positive for. Bill even claimed that Garcia tested positive for 4 different substances, though earlier reports only mentioned ostarine. This left many boxing fans confused. Is Bill just making things up as he goes? He appeared in multiple interviews, reacting to the news, while Garcia's team pushed back by highlighting the negative hair follicle test. Now fans are wondering what to believe. Should they trust the positive urine tests or the clean hair test? BillHaney also took shots at Floyd Mayweather, reminding
Floyd Mayweather, come out them bushes hiding and playing and capping. On April the 20th, you were skinning and grinning from ear to ear. You was happy to tell the world about the 3.2 pounds that you helped RyanGarcia come in overweight with. Now that he done tested positive for 4 PEDs, now you want to head for the hills and go quiet like you in Dubai somewhere.
Bill added that wherever Floyd...
Well, I'm going to tell you, Floyd, wherever you at, what me and the world want to know is, we know you was the middleman to RyanGarcia's victory, but what we want to know is, are you the middleman to the steroid?
New York State Commission now faces a crucial decision. Should they ban RyanGarcia? For Haney, the main question is, what's the benefit if Ryan is suspended? Fans are left wondering if Haney can truly be considered the winner this way. After all, the real victory would be in a rematch against Ryan. But if Garcia gets a suspension of 1 to 2 years, that rematch may never happen. It's hard for fans to know what to believe, with the urine tests showing positive and the hair test coming back clean. What will Ryan do if the science proves he used PEDs? Meanwhile, BillHaney is furious and didn't hold back. He called RyanGarcia a dishonest fighter and warned that there will be serious consequences for his actions. Bill hinted that legal action might be next. He said there's nothing funny about what Ryan and his team have done, and he made it clear they should prepare for what's coming. He emphasized that no one cheats a Haney. They signed up for a fair fight and didn't get one.
Cheaters don't prosper, and ain't nothing funny about what the Garcia team and what RyanGarcia done did. Expect something serious. There's ramifications in this. We signed up for a fair fight, and didn't get it. Yeah.
Cheater. He's a cheater.
He's a cheater. You know what? The one thing that Devin represents, he represents family and being a role model, being a clean fighter. Devin represents being a clean fighter, a family man, representing the community, not cheating, not using steroids, not being a bad example to the
Bill added that it's important to keep the sport clean and promised to seriously.
Make sure to try to keep the sport clean, and we're going to do what we can, to bring some closure to this very, very bad thing that the Garcia team did. It's okay to use PEDs? Come on, man. Let's do better with this sport.
BillHaney added that it's important to keep the sport of boxing clean and promised to bring closure to the serious wrongdoing committed by RyanGarcia's team. He stressed that this situation is not a joke, and they are not taking it lightly. Bill questioned what kind of message it sends to young people if using PEDs is seen as acceptable. He called on everyone involved in the sport to do better, take responsibility, and treat boxing with the respect it deserves. If the New York State Athletic Commission decides to suspend RyanGarcia for a year following his positive PED test, it's likely that during his absence, Haney could face defeat against one of the formidable contenders or reigning champions in the 140 lb division, effectively extinguishing any hopes for a rematch with Garcia. It became evident in April that Haney lacks the firepower to contend with the heavy hitters in the 140 lb division, and this deficiency will only grow as he transitions to welterweight or junior middleweight. Once Haney makes that leap, his days as a prominent figure in the sport could be numbered, as fans will likely never forget a potential defeat. If Haney faces another puncher, his chin issues could resurface. Prior to facing Ryan, Haney's management had skillfully arranged bouts against opponents who lacked knockout power throughout his career, with the lone encounter against a formidable puncher being Regis Prograis, who had a significant size advantage when they fought last December. Meanwhile, the World Boxing Council, WBC, is on standby for communication from Garcia's legal team seeking clarification on how to proceed. Haney is pushing for a reversal of the decision, while Garcia staunchly maintains his innocence. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman confirmed that the WBC is following its protocol for anti-doping situations and has sent a letter to Garcia's attorney, who requested additional time to gather all the necessary information. Positive test results. The defamation lawsuit, filed by Logan Paul's company, Prime Hydration, comes in response to Garcia's claim that his positive test for Ostarine was a result of contamination from the energy drink. Logan Paul, who has a stake in Prime Hydration, is pushing back against Garcia's accusations, labeling them as misleading and damaging to the brand's reputation. Prime's legal team argues that Garcia's statement was baseless and intended to shift blame away from the boxer's actions. This development further complicates Garcia's situation, as the legal battles on multiple fronts now intersect, adding another layer of scrutiny to his defense. Meanwhile, the World Boxing Council, WBC, continues to process the situation, with the New York State Athletic Commission ultimately responsible for any disciplinary actions, though the WBC's involvement will also be significant given Garcia's participation in their clean boxing program. The resolution of this matter, including the status of the B sample, will be pivotal in determining Garcia's future in the sport. as well as how the case impacts both his reputation and that of his supporters. Logan Paul and his company, Prime Hydration, have launched a defamation lawsuit against RyanGarcia after the boxer linked the energy drink to his positive test for Ostarine. Garcia had accused Prime of causing the contamination, claiming that drinking the beverage had led to his failed tests for performance-enhancing drugs. In a statement posted alongside a photograph of the legal complaint, Logan Paul vowed to hold those accountable who have tarnished the Prime brand for personal gain, asserting that the company is committed to correcting the narrative and continuing to innovate in the hydration space. Meanwhile, Garcia's reaction to the allegations was unconventional. He expressed what some interpreted as sarcasm, proclaiming, "I love steroids," and downplaying the significance of the situation. Garcia also claimed he was being set up. But analysts like Paulie Malignaggi doubt a significant suspension is imminent. Malignaggi noted that, given Garcia's star power and the current state of U.S. boxing, particularly in New York, a lengthy suspension might harm the boxing scene more than it helps, suggesting that Garcia could be suspended briefly until he's ready to return to the ring. Knows what happened in the ring. Garcia's defiant attitude highlights his belief that his performance against Haney was undeniable, regardless of the official outcome or any potential sanctions. Malignaggi's concerns about a lengthy suspension disrupting New York's boxing scene reflect a broader issue. RyanGarcia's star power is undeniably growing, and his absence could mean lost opportunities for both the city and the sport. The situation is a reminder of the complex dynamics in boxing, where legal and promotional factors often intertwine with the careers of fighters. Chris Algieri's point about the legal system's duality, where money and status can influence outcomes, adds another layer of complexity to the case. If Garcia does face punishment, he may shrug it off, confident in his own performance and the belief that his victory over Haney remains etched in the minds of fans. Ultimately, the question remains whether New York's boxing scene, as well as Garcia's long-term prospects, will be negatively impacted by the fallout from this controversy. The narrative surrounding RyanGarcia is indeed a fascinating one, and it's clear that his popularity and marketability have placed him in a unique position within the sport. If Garcia faces a long suspension, the question of who will step into the void is key. As mentioned, fighters like Haney might not command the same star power or excitement, with his style being less captivating for casual fans. Gervonta Tank Davis, on the other hand, does possess the popularity, but as you pointed out, he tends to avoid riskier matchups, which limits his potential for truly solidifying his place as the face of boxing. The argument that Garcia could face a relatively short suspension if his defense of a contaminated supplement holds up makes sense in terms of the timeline for his return to the ring. Whether the suspension is 6 months or longer, Garcia's commercial value and his personal belief in his victory over Haney could help him weather the storm. It seems that, for Garcia, the long-term financial benefits might outweigh the short-term setbacks, especially if the case does get resolved with a more lenient penalty. Ultimately, the sport of boxing has a long history of dealing with its own contradictions, and Garcia's situation is no exception. Whether or not the suspension sticks, the outcome will likely not significantly alter his fan base or his future success, as long as the legal defense holds up and the accusations of intentional PED use don't stick. As with many controversies, in boxing, this may just be another chapter in a fighter's career story that fans will remember long after the dust settles.